Here we go. For the first time ever. Welcome to BG Game Preview. I'm your host, Lucy Eisenbarth, and it has finally arrived, week 1 of high school football. And here to kick it off this week, we've got a good matchup, Bishop Garrigan versus Kingsley Pierson. We're going to dive right into it. We're going to be covering every stat line, every player, everything. First, we got to do a little recap to the last season, see how the Golden Bears finished off last year. So last year, Golden Bears finished undefeated in the regular season, with their one loss coming in the playoffs from none other than Remsen St. Mary's. So let's take a deep dive into what all happened last season. Well, Garrigan finished number 1 in their district, District 8-2, with their record, undefeated in regular season. Again, like I said, 7-0 conference, 4-0 at home, and 4-0 on the road. Now more into the stat line side of it. Starting with passing, we had junior Tate Birch with 1,049 yards, 16 touchdowns, and only 1 interception on the year. Into the rushing side, Garrigan had a very rush-heavy offense last year with senior Trayton Sink and junior Ethan Marceau. Trayton Sink finished the year with 1,244 yards and 25 touchdowns. Ethan Marceau finished with 601 yards and 17 touchdowns. Very helpful having a speedy guy like Trayton Sink in the backfield, as well as a powerhouse like Ethan Marceau to punch it in on the goal line. Moving over to the receiving side of things, we had senior Owen Murphy finish the year 18 catches for 346 yards and 6 touchdowns, followed by Michael Joyce, sophomore, with 268 yards and 6 touchdowns. The entire team combined for 1,200 yards and 19 touchdowns as a whole. Like I said earlier, Garrigan had a very rush-heavy offense last year, and when you have a rush-heavy offense, you're not throwing the ball as much. And I tend to see with 8-man, there's a lot more rushing offenses than there are passing offenses throughout the class. Moving over to the defensive side of things, we had senior Keaton Helliseth leading the team with 14 sacks, followed by junior Carter Schwab with 4. The entire team combined for a total of 30.5 sacks on the year. Some big defensive plays getting through to the offensive line to the quarterback helped create some success for Garrigan last year. Also helping create some success were interceptions. Sophomore Michael Joyce finished with 5 interceptions on the year, followed by Isaac Delane with 3. The entire team finished with 10 overall. Now, that's the Garrigan recap rewind. Let's move over to Kingsley Pierson, their opponent this week. Kingsley Pierson finished with a 4-4 record last year and finished 4th overall in their division, Division 8-1, same division as Remsen St. Mary's, Grettinger Terrell, and St. Ed's, the teams that finished above them. Now, let's dive into some of the stats behind this Kingsley Pierson season last year. Junior quarterback Landon Howe threw for 1,316 yards and 11 touchdowns. Junior running back Cal Harvey rushing for 351 yards and 3 touchdowns. Wide receiver Easton Nissen, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below. Leading the wide receivers with 420 yards and 4 touchdowns. And leading the team on the defensive side for total tackles is junior Tyler Koch, I believe. Koch. I do not know. I apologize if I said that wrong. Correct me down below. Led the team in tackles with 70.5 tackles and 2 sacks. Leading the team with interceptions is, again, Easton Nissen, playing the defensive side with 3 interceptions on the season and 7 for the whole team. Let's dive into this year's rankings for our Golden Bears and their opponent, Kingsley Pierson. All of these stats and rankings I will be putting on the screen here in just a moment as I say it. I will also be crediting the pages on Instagram where I've gotten these stats from, as well as potentially linking their Instagram pages down below in the description if you want to follow. IA Football and IA Sports have your Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears ranked number 1 to start the year. Garrigan is ranked number 1, and rounding out the top 5 is Gladbrook Rhinebeck, Iowa Valley, Montezuma, and Don Bosco. According to IA Football and IA Sports, Kingsley Pierson is not in the top 16 preseason rankings. According to IA Sports stats, your Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears are ranked number 2 to start the year. The only team being above them is the Woodbine Tigers, who finished 8-2 last season. Kingsley Pierson is ranked number 7 by IA Sports stats, and rounding out the top 8 for this list is number 1 Woodbine, number 2 Bishop Garrigan, number 3 Iowa Valley, number 4 Wayne, number 5 Montezuma, number 6 Gladbrook Rhinebeck, number 7 Kingsley Pierson, and number 8 Fairmont Hills. Kingsley Pierson also made IA Sports Stats top 6 Class 8-man underrated teams. Number 1 being Easton Valley, 2 Wayne, and number 3 Kingsley Pierson. These are really high rankings to start the season for the Golden Bears, as they have been the past couple of seasons. Now that we have preseason rankings, stats, recap, rewind all out of the way, let's get into some predictions. According to IA Sports Stats, district prediction, 8-player 8-1, Kingsley Pierson is predicted to win the division this year, with them being at the top, followed by St. Ed's, GTRA, and Remsen St. Mary's. Also, according to IA Sports Stats, district predictions for 8-player 8-2, Bishop Garrigan's division, you have Bishop Garrigan winning the district this year, followed by North Union, Northwood Kenseth, and North Iowa. I believe these rankings are very fair and very accurate. I think the hardest opponent that Garrigan will face in their district will be North Union or Northwood Kenseth. I don't know a whole lot about Kingsley Pierson, but from the looks of things, they will be a decent team this year. Sleeper in the playoffs. My final game score prediction for this week's matchup is Bishop Garrigan 54, Kingsley Pierson 26. I do believe that Bishop Garrigan will take the win here, and their defense will be able to hold them very low. It is the first game of the season, so some slip-ups may happen, which is where the 26 points from Kingsley Pierson comes from. But I do think that Garrigan's offense will generate a crap ton of points, as they did last year, winning games by multiple scores. Garrigan will start the season 1-0, and Kingsley Pierson starting 0-1 for this 2025-26 football season. Rounding out the prediction segment of this show, I will be giving my season prediction for both teams, only for regular season as of right now, because playoffs, you never know what they're going to look like. Looking over at Bishop Garrigan's schedule, they play Kingsley Pierson, Riceville, North Iowa, St. Ed's, Turkey Valley, North Union, Northwood Kenseth, and West Bend Mallard, all in that order. I think the hardest game for the Golden Bears this year is going to be St. Ed's or North Union, as they're both projected to be really good teams and have really high odds of either winning their district or getting close to it. I do see Bishop Garrigan having potential to go undefeated in the regular season. It is just a matter of how that offense is working together. With so much returning production, even though they lost a couple of seniors, I do believe that their offense and defense will click and they can go undefeated. Looking over at Kingsley Pierson's schedule, they face Garrigan, Siouxland Christian, Harris Lake Park, Remsen St. Mary's, Newell Fonda, West Bend Mallard, GTRA, and St. Ed's. I think the hardest game on their schedule will be GTRA and St. Ed's, as they're both district rivals and both really highly rated teams going into this year. I think with the offense struggles this year, but a lot of returning production and a lot of team chemistry coming back together, Kingsley Pierson has a chance of this season going really well for them. I do not think they will go undefeated in the regular season, especially if those offensive struggles continue into this year. I see Kingsley Pierson having potential to go 5-3 this season, dropping games to Bishop Garrigan, GTRA, and potentially St. Ed's. Those GTRA and St. Ed's games are tricky, as they're all toss-ups. That district is really tough and tight, meaning those games will mean a lot later on. To end off this first episode, I wanted to explain what this show will be, as I didn't in the beginning. For those of you who don't know, hi, my name is Lucy Eisenbarth, and I'm going into my freshman year of high school at Bishop Garrigan. I absolutely love sports, and wish to be a sports analyst / journalist when I grow up. This will be kind of a passion project for me, as I want to stay involved in the sports world and kind of do my own thing and kind of see how to do all of the things and be a sports journalist, be a sports reporter, kind of get comfortable with putting myself out there and getting some experience with doing all of the reporting and journaling and finding stats, everything that goes into this. I will release episodes probably 3 to 4 days before the actual game happens. That gives you plenty of time to watch it and plenty of time for me to record, edit, and everything, as I am just a student in high school with a busy schedule. I think I'm going to have a lot of fun this season covering your Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears. Just a reminder, I am not affiliated with Bishop Garrigan High School. This is my own side project that I will be doing solo. Another reminder, all opinions are my own. If you disagree, throw it down in the comment section. That's what the comment section is for. That is all for this week 1 matchup between Bishop Garrigan and Kingsley Pierson. Just before I sign off, make sure you like, subscribe, follow my Instagram for BG Game Preview down in the description below. My email is down there also, personally, for BG Game Preview if you want to email any stats, statistics, or anything of that sort. Hope y'all have a wonderful day, and this is Lucy Eisenbarth signing off on BG Game Preview.